What do we mean when we read the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24? Shalom, this is the brother Ba. You're back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Chahakadosh. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Yeah, what do we mean when we read the scripture here? The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. It says, earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And when we read that scripture, we tell people out on the highways and byways that the so-called white man, whose biblical nationality is Esau, right? These so-called white people are Edomites, and we tell them that their nation, the nation of Edom, is in control of the earth right now. You have a fucking pork grind eating nigga, Arizona drinking nigga, walking down the street with his pants off his ass, telling us that we don't know what we're talking about, that everybody's equal, everybody's free, and we can make change. And the same narrative that these niggas that don't know what the hell going on be spewing out of their mouth. All right, that same ignorant narrative. What do we mean? What do we really mean when we read that scripture and we say the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked Esau? I'm just gonna read on these two articles I got pulled up here. Um, this first one here is titled "Which Corporations Control the World?" Right? It says a surprisingly small number of companies control massive global market shares. How many of the brands below do you use? And that's a valid question. How many of these brands do you use? Because we know us as the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we don't do nothing but consume. That's all we consume. We don't produce anything but entertainment. And we're not even in control of how the entertainment is produced. We may pop up in a movie or pop up on a basketball court or a football field or pop up in a music video, but we don't control how it's produced to the masses or how it's released to the world. All right, so the first one here is the banking system. All right, it says the world's largest banks, based in only 6 countries, have a combined wealth of 25.1 trillion. And this is only going into like the main name banks, but we know those elite banking families that's really behind everything, like the Rothschilds and the Federal Reserve and BlackRock, right? That holds the assets of these banks. But you have the ICBC in China, which holds almost 3 trillion in assets. Right? You got the HSBC Holdings in the UK, almost 3 trillion in assets. Assets. You have the Deutsche Bank in Germany, right? You have the BNP bank in France. Okay, you got another one, the Credit Agricole Group in France, right? You got the JP Morgan. We all familiar with that here in America. You got the Barclays in the UK. You got the China Construction Bank Corp. And even when you look at these banks that's in China, that's why I said we all know who's behind it, the Rothschilds, because all these banks are still controlled by the Rothschilds, right? Just like you have these the JP Morgans and all these banks, because a lot of times these banks have to get bailed out or whatever. Who do they go to? They go to the Rothschilds, man. All right. Uh, here's another section, the media. And then I'm just bringing this up to show you what do we mean by who controls the earth, who controls the banking system, who controls the media system. All right, the things that you consume on a daily basis. You're not in control of that. So-called white man is the media. You have this company here, Comcast, that owns MSNBC, that owns the MLB network, that owns the Xfinity network, NBC Universal, E Entertainment, AT&T Broadband, the Golf Channel. All right. They control what you see on these channels and what you hear on these channels. You have Time Warner. Here with Time Warner, you see Time Warner is in control of HBO, is in control of Time, right? Time Magazine, that's in control of Turner Broadcasting, which is in control of TNT, True TV, TBS, NBC, Cartoon Network, CNN, and the list goes on, right? When you look at the owners of all these major companies that control these sub companies, they're all Edomites. And even the people that's in control of the sub companies are Edomites. We have Walt Disney, right? Uh, that's in control of your Marvel, your Touchstone, your Hollywood Records, your ESPN, right? Your ABC, your Pixar, okay? You got Viacom that owns your BET, your Black Entertainment Television, all right? Your Nickelodeon, your VH1, your MTV, your Spike, your Comedy Central, your Paramount Pictures. This is what we mean by East when we read Job 9 and 24. You got your News Corporation that owns Fox, Wall Street Journal, Times of London. And it's crazy, you would think CNN falls on the News Corporation, but CNN falls on the Time Warner. But anyways, it shows you it's all a damn game anyways. Uh, your food, what you eat on a daily basis. It's controlled by ESO, PepsiCo, Quaker, Gatorade, Pepsi, Rockstar, Mountain Dew, Lipton, Aquafina, Lay's, Frito, all this stuff is poison. Doritos, Tostitos, Cheetos, Ruffles, Funyuns. PepsiCo owns all that. Tyson meat. Tyson is the controller, the world's largest chicken supply. Fake ass chicken. Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Walmart, Kroger supplies chicken to all these places. But you actually have people that own these actual restaurants. Another company that actually owns those restaurants. And another company that owns the land that those restaurants are put on. Nestle, right? Your Tombstone Pizza, your Hot Pockets, your DiGiorno, all right? You see it here, man. Your Nestle ice cream, lean cuisine. You think you eating healthy lean cuisine. It's all bullshit. Your Chips Ahoy's, go down. The list just goes on and on and on, man. How do you pronounce that? Looks like a German name. Anheuser Busch and Bev, right? More than 200 beer brands made in 30 countries. Wow. Your Bud Light, your Bush, your Budweiser. List goes on and on. Your oil, right? You have this thing with the whole oil industry in a muck right now because it's manipulated. It's really, I mean, oil is abundant in the earth, but it's controlled by the devil, so it's manipulated. It's controlled by the wicked. So now your gas is out of control. Five companies produce almost twice the U.S. refined petroleum consumption every day. You all know about Saudi Aramco. You got these simple niggas that'll say, yeah, the Saudi Arabians, they in control of the oil. No, the Saudi Arabians, they went into a deal with who? Rockefeller. I believe it was Rockefeller. Yeah, Rockefeller. And even with the whole oil industry, anyways, these nations have to still move their oil through the petrodollar system, right? Esau's currency. But you got your Exxon Mobil, okay. So yeah, man, you see who runs these industries. Now I'm gonna go to this next article. It's titled "The 10 Big." This is on Yahoo News. The 10 biggest industries in the world in 2021. It says the global economy in March 2020. The WHO, right, the World Health Organization, declared the C19 event. There you go. Who controls the WHO? Not you niggas. They were able to declare the C19 event a global, you know what? You see that word there? You don't have control or the power to declare anything. All right. But let's go down to these industries. Let's check out some of these industries that's listed. Number 10, we got telecommunication. All right, how you communicate with one another. These phone companies, AT&T. All right, Verizon. Right. He says the $1 trillion industry is driven by the increasing demand of the five you know what network and internet services. Who's in control of that? Who's producing all this? Right? Who allows you to be able to communicate throughout the world through these phone services? Esau, the so-called white man, he's in control of that. You might be able to get the job, this type of job here. You see this guy right here. You might be able to apply for a job at your in your state or your city to be able to set up these communication towers if you got a good resume. Number 9, you got the automobile manufacturing company, right? Such as Ford, you know, all these top car companies, the automobile production industry, which is controlled by E. And once again, you look at these industries as they begin to crumble and fall, it's because the people that own it and that are in control of it are allowing it to. We already touched on the oil and the gas industry. We already touched on the food industry, and it controls your food information, how you receive your information through Google. All right, these search engines on the internet, Instagram, Twitter. Who's in control of these? These companies. Esau, the so-called white man, who owns it, who produces it. Like I said in the beginning of this, you're just a consumer. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, you're just the consumers. But see, in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be the producers. You're going to be in control. You're going to be in the power seat under Yahweh Basha. Let's check out the other five they have. Top five industries: life and health insurance. All right, they're in control of your life and health insurance. You got the Cigna Corp. All right, Cigna Corp. Cigna Corp is one of the largest health insurance companies with over. Yeah, for some reason, man, that website I had popped up caused my computer to kind of act up a little bit. I gotta get me a new laptop, but guess something going on with that site. But basically, what I was reading on is the health insurance companies like Cigna Corp, and then you have another major one, the Prudential Financial Incorporation. That it says it provides services online where the consumers will be guided by a financial advisor in purchasing their insurance digitally. So he's in control of that. He's in control of that whole process. Right, you got the e-commerce industry, which is Amazon's, okay, your Alibabas, all right. You got your commercial real estate industry, okay. You got the construction industry, all right. How cities are built, train systems, right, subway systems, whatever need to be constructed in the city. Esau is in control of that, right? And your financial services, okay. Um, he is in control of all of that. Your visas, your Mastercards, these debit cards you got in your hand that you swipe with. He produces those. He owns those companies. All right, you're just a consumer. Okay. So when we say that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, and it's the so-called white man, well, that's what we mean by it. Look at the industries that run the world. Look how the world is ran. There's systems and institutions, education systems, and industries that's set up to make sure that the world is running the way the rulers want it to be ran, right? And we've shown some of those industries, even your religion, right? The churches that are set up, who produce those, who allow, because everything is signed through paperwork, right? Contractual agreements, 501c3 street charters and all that. The list goes on and on. Who is in control of these systems that are set up to allow these things? Okay. Now I want to get Psalms chapter 75. Psalms chapter 75. And we brought this up at camp yesterday. We read this at camp yesterday, but I'm gonna read it again. Psalm chapter 75, verse 6. It says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another." And he set up Esau to run the world right now, man. You know, that's who's in control of the earth. Esau, so-called white people. Now I want to get one more precept and then wrap it up. Let's go on over to Revelation, the 16th chapter, and this kind of explains also how Esau runs the earth. It's Revelation chapter 16, verse 13. "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet." All right, and when you go into those unclean spirits, it basically sums up, his military, his how he controls the world through military means, how he controls the world through his financial system and his religious system. All right, unclean spirits. All right, but he's in control. He's in power right now. He's in the power seat. So that's what we mean about when we read Job 9 to 24. And then, you can even go way deeper than what I went. Like I said, I was just brushing over it. Um, so when people come up and they try to say, ain't nobody's in control of the earth, that's a very ignorant and foolish statement. So hopefully it was edifying. The next time I say shalom.